Hello everyone, this is Ivan welcoming you to a new enterprise that I have for my channel, in which I'm going to be sharing a little bit more of myself through these short videos about just thoughts and feelings, things that happen to me or that I happen to be going through at any particular point. I wanted to kind of be a little bit more on the personal side in this series of videos, rather than just showing you, the food and the places that we go to on weekend occurrences. Today I kind of thought that it would be very appropriate to get started because tomorrow is going to be November 2nd, and it's Day of the Dead celebration, or Dia de Muertos as they refer to it in Mexican culture. A little bit about this tradition, it's people remembering their dead, the people that went before us and have passed and that are now resting. And central to the celebration, is always the remembrance, thinking back to these people and just celebrating them, for who they were and what they meant to us when they were alive. In Mexico, it's very, very vastly celebrated everywhere. There are certain regions in Mexico that take it very seriously. And traditionally, you're supposed to put up an altar, which consists, of a little place in your house in which you put a picture or pictures of the people that you want to celebrate and that you want to remember. And you also put up offerings of food. They usually are the food that the person loved to eat, their favorite dishes, their favorite drinks, their favorite songs are played. And, it's just a very beautiful celebration of death, which comes from pre-Hispanic times, in the indigenous culture. There's always been a veneration and a respect that is shown for death and everything that comes with it, so we pay respect, both to the fact that we are only here temporarily, and that we at some point go back to the place that we all came from. I also have something here that I would like to show you if you don't know what it is. This is Dia de Muertos, pan de muerto actually. This is Day of the Dead bread, and this is basically what it looks like. This is the mini version. This is an individual serving of the bread, and it has a dough cross in the front, and it's usually covered with sugar, and it has a very distinct orange flavor, which is, I guess, the flavoring that is used in the dough when they make the bread. And I just happened to be at the store today, and I bought some, just to be a little bit more connected to the tradition and kind of share with the people that have preceded me. So before we get started with this, I wanted to show you a little bit of a memorial that I put up for some of the people that have passed away in recent times, and that I hold very dear to my heart. And yeah, let me go ahead and show you that right now. Okay, so this is what my Day of the Dead memorial looks like here in my apartment. It's not elaborate, it's just a series of pictures of very important people that I have lost and that have already gone and gone to heaven. So I'll go ahead and get started by showing you my grandma. Her name was Carolina, and she passed away in 2013 at the age of 91. There she is, back in the 1930s or 40s, walking down a street in downtown Juarez. According to her, back then there were photographers walking down the street, and they would just stop people at random and ask them if they wanted to get their picture taken. Here she is wearing what she told me was her work uniform. So you can just imagine, the times and how people were like more proper and very well dressed, no matter if they were going to work or if they were going to somewhere else. But this is her back then, and this is a picture that was taken later on with me riding a carousel there with abundant curly hair. I think that I was like 3 years old in this picture, and there is my grandma once again. Essential and very, very important part of my life. And her rosary is draped around the frame. This is a rosary that I got to keep, and that used to belong to her, so very, very special memory of her. Next to her is my grandpa. His name was Pablo Torres, and he passed away in 2008 at the age of 89. Again, you can see probably the resemblance in the curly hair that we both shared. But again, very, very, very old picture. I have a fascination that I also want to go ahead and talk to you guys and share with you right now for old photography, and how people used to look back then. So here he is. I think that he was like 30 something. I think that he was actually my age in this picture, or close to my age. So another person that I want to remember today. Next to them is my uncle. His name was Lorenzo Vargas. He's actually my grandma's oldest brother, actually, of all her siblings. And he actually passed away last year at the age of 98 years young. He lived a very, very long and prosperous life. And next to him is another picture of him taken when he was in his 90s. And this is a picture of his coronation as King of Valentine's Day at the nursing home where he used to live. So very, very blessed of having met a man who was always very strong, very hopeful, and had a very, very positive outlook on life. And I also wanted to remember him tonight. This picture over here, I'm going to go ahead and probably move my uncle a little bit, is of my uncle and my grandma with their sister, which is this lady right here. It's kind of blurry, so you can't really see it that well. My aunt Enriqueta, who sadly passed away earlier this year at the age of 95. And next to them is my aunt Elisa, or she was my uncle's wife. And here they are at my uncle's house, and that's me in the background. Once we knew that, we knew his physical address and everything, I made it my effort to kind of bring them together and have them share moments, the three remaining siblings of their family. So this is the little memorial that I had for you guys. I wanted to share this with you. Of course, the picture of the Virgin of Guadalupe is right next to it. And I just wanted to, kind of pay a little bit of tribute and homage to the memory of these people that are surely resting right now and that are happy to be together after, sharing different aspects of their lives, as a family at one point. So yeah. Now that we're on the subject of vintage photographs, like I said, I have a fascination, with photographs from old times, black and white photographs and pictures. And I was fortunate enough, to get a couple of them from my aunt on a recent visit that I had. I'm going to go ahead and share some with you right now, starting out with this one of my mom when she was 6 years old. This is, I think, during her first communion or something, and very little has changed. Her hair is still wavy and curly, and that's a picture that I have. This is the original picture. This was laminated for her at work or something. She brought it one time when they asked them for a picture of when they were little, probably for Dia de los Niños or something like that. So this is my mom right here. And this is a little framed picture that I have of my grandma and 3 of her children. On the top over here is my aunt. Over here is my uncle. He also passed away back in 1992. He is her oldest son, followed by my aunt, and my mom is right there, looking a little bit frightened. But this is what passport photographs used to look like, and this is also a picture that I think is very, very interesting, because it tells you of how people used to look like in old times. So yeah. Moving on to some of the pictures that my aunt shared with me, I'll go ahead and probably show you this picture first. This is both my grandparents and 4 of their 5 children. The only one missing is my oldest uncle, which you just saw in the passport picture, but there is my mom, very stylish with a hat, and very retro eyeglasses. Over here is my aunt, with wearing her school uniform, and this is my uncle in my grandpa's arms, and my mom looking like Audrey Tattoo or something like that. She looks like a celebrity there. I don't know. She looks very, very stylish with her hair and stuff, holding her youngest son, who also passed away. He passed away even before I was born. So that's the entire family, and I really, really like this picture because it's the entire family. There's only one member missing, so I wish my uncle would have been part of this picture, my oldest uncle, and that would have been the entire Torres Vargas family there for you. So another picture that I think is quite interesting is this one of my grandparents as well, and my mom a little bit older next to my aunt, And the baby that she's holding is actually my aunt's first child, who's my oldest cousin now. And my uncle is sitting right there next to him. My mom's face is the same. She has not changed. She is still the same person, and I think that here she was somewhere like between 13 and 16 years of age or something. And Mike commented on this picture when I posted it on Facebook that the resemblance that I have to my grandpa in this picture is uncanny. So it is a project of mine to kind of recreate this picture dressed like my grandpa to see just how much I look like him. I really don't think that I look that much like him unless you kind of see into the pictures a lot, but you know, he wanted to recreate that. So I have very, very similar sunglasses than the ones that look to the ones that he's wearing right now. And they are standing or sitting right behind what used to be my grandpa's car back in the days. So very, very interesting, this picture. And the last picture is of this one. And it's going to be, again, my family, you know, and an outing that they had. Again, the same car. And my grandpa is holding my cousin, who you saw over here in this picture next to my mom. He's holding him this time. And my grandma and my mom are sitting over here and standing behind the car. So I don't know. I just really think that all of these photographs are really, really interesting to look at. And they kind of help me see, you know, what my family's life was like back in the day. We're by no means rich people or people who were of means to have a very comfortable lifestyle. You know, both my grandparents were very, very hardworking people. They raised their children right, as evidenced by the fact that all of us grew up to be honest people, hardworking and everything. So for that, I am very grateful. Just looking into these pictures kind of gives me this feeling of belonging to something bigger, you know, to something that goes beyond, you know, what my life is at this moment. You know, all of these people have played a very important role in my life, and I think that having photographs, you know, to remember all of this, to remember roots and origins is a very, very important thing. I'm very grateful to have such a very, very nice memory of my family, and, you know, as evidenced by all these photographs. I really hope that you like this, pretty much the first exchange that I have with you guys. I really, like I said, I don't want this to be planned, and I don't want this to be heavily edited. I just want it to be conversations that kind of give you a glimpse into my life and things that are important to me in this sense, like, you know, for today, Dia de los Muertos, and, you know, sharing these photographs in instance of previous times with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you guys like and share this video. If you have any comments or questions, please share them with me. I would really like to hear from you guys. And ask me anything, you know, if you have any sort of curiosity for me to talk about certain things, or for me to share any other photographs with you. I'm probably going to share some of me when I was little. But until then, I'll go ahead and talk to you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.